The U.S. Navy has said the exercises are strengthening alliances to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. The countries participating have raised concerns about China's attempts to push their control over waterways and critical routes. Australia, Japan, the Philippines, and India have taken part in the naval exercises. Due to the pandemic, the Rim of the Pacific (RIMPAC) event has been scaled down from 25 to 11 nations. The biennial event has about 20 ships and 5,300 personnel involved. The drills have been reduced from the normal 5 weeks to 2. But the exercises have increased tensions with Beijing, who were not invited to take part in the event. China did participate in 2016 and 2014. In 2018, Donald Trump disinvited China, accusing it of militarizing disputed areas of the South China Sea. China has blasted the U.S. in the run-up to RIMPAC. Chinese state media accused Washington of flexing its military muscle and strongarm allies to join the event. The Global Times said, "The U.S. can test its partners in the RIMPAC, but when it comes to a real battlefield, will the U.S. still be able to assemble that many allies?" The state-run paper berated America for ignoring a petition signed by Hawaiian citizens asking to call off the event amid pandemic fears. China has been increasing its force in the Indo-Pacific region. It carried out drills both in the South China Sea and in waters near Taiwan. Beijing has claimed that Taiwan is its own and seeks to annex the U.S. ally. Experts have warned that the Indo-Pacific region is heading towards a dangerous crisis. Both Kurt Campbell, former Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and the Pacific, and Ali Wine from the Atlantic Council, said eroding ties between the U.S. and China have made the tensions even more conducive to inadvertent escalation. Dr. William Chung, a senior fellow at the ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute in Singapore, said, "You can't divorce China and RIMPAC from the broader tensions in the Sino-US relationship." He added, "It looks like the Chinese are getting increasingly impatient, although I think that it's an action-reaction cycle that you see between the Americans and the Chinese. You can't ascertain who started this in a sense." He said the situation between the U.S. and China was worrying. He added how, compared to other regional disputes, the balance of power has quite significantly shifted towards the Chinese side, in terms of the capabilities that the Chinese can bring to the table, which are significantly larger. This comes as the U.S. and South Korea begin their annual joint military exercise this week. The drills are also scaled back due to the pandemic, with mainly computer-simulated fight scenarios. However, as the U.S. and China have grappled for control in recent years, analysts have warned on several occasions that there is a serious risk of an accidental conflict. Hu Bo, director of the Center for Maritime Strategy Studies at Peking University, said that the deployment of U.S. vessels was aimed at stopping China from taking advantage of a power vacuum. Speaking in 2017, he also warned there was a risk that such incidents could result in a miscalculation and escalate into military conflict. He added, "This kind of behavior was driven by political needs aimed at showing force and demonstrating strength, but that can become an accident." He also said that there could be parties with the U.S. military aiming to create a small-scale and controllable conflict with their Chinese counterparts. At the same time, South China Sea tensions between the US and China still threaten a global conflict, and one expert warned that the two nuclear powers could be planning for a controlled conflict. China has controversially seized control of much of the South China Sea due to its Nine-Line claim, a demarcation for what the country believes to be its waters. The South China Sea is hotly contested because of its lucrative shipping lanes, capacity for strategic military advantages and wealth of natural resources such as oil and minerals. At the center of this disagreement are various island clusters such as the Spratly Islands and the Paracel Islands. China has had particularly tense relations with Vietnam and the Philippines over islands in the region. And these countries have found support from the U.S., as Washington has sent military personnel to bases in the Philippines and provided patrol vessels to Vietnam. The South China Sea has been the setting of intense political battles between the U.S. and China, with President Trump forced to up Washington's military presence in the area. This is because Beijing's forces have militarized the Spratly Island chain, surrounded by natural resources and claimed by other Asian nations. Described by many as island fortresses, China has engulfed the Spratly chain with man-made island bases.